My name is Stephen Rachel, R-A-C-H-A-L. I've tapped into something of the esoteric nature. When I started digging in this, I didn't know exactly what I was doing, exactly what I was looking at, whatever. But I have to get this out there. So, the pyramid of Egypt, as above, so below. There's a pyramid below that one, just like the one that's above it. It's the heart chakra of the earth. Once it starts pumping again, this place will be governed by love again. When a man turns 33 years old, he goes on a journey of 7 years of tribulation that takes him to 40, where these people have told you it's a midlife crisis. It's not that. It's men. Something happens to men when they're 7. That's why they tell you that women mature faster than men. Women are born conscious. Men become conscious at 7. Then something happens to them, and we go through these crazy cycles. But anyway, at 14,400 days old, it's 39.6 years old. It's when men exit menopause, right? And women enter. And what it is, it's the leveling of the emotions in the body. It's what Noah's flood was. It's Noah was on the seas, right, of emotion for 40 years and found himself leveled out. Once he did, he got drunk and ate meat and went straight back in. It's the Matrix, okay? So between 33 and 40 and 40 and 47, men and women enter and find this, what they call Baphomet, right? As above, so below. Well, it's honestly where you find yourself hermaphroditic in your thinking, because emotions and chemicals in your body do not run your decision making anymore. You leave this place of anger and hate and all this other crap because your emotions don't rule you. You can make decisions through intuition and through understanding, instead of making decisions that are based on your emotions and how your emotions work. It's why grandparents are so much better parents than what parents are, because parents are parenting and they're in this emotional state. Grandparents, they're not there. They're not in a judgmental state. They look at their grandkids and they love them. They don't give a shit what they do. It doesn't matter, right? So I found the Philosopher's Stone. You have 3 aspects of life: mind, body, spirit. It's the threefold ministry that they talk about in all of their religions. As soon as Jesus set everyone free in this place, which you can say whatever you want to about Jesus, you can say whatever you want to about holy books. The Bible is a book of philosophy, which gave the psychological understanding of how people work. You have been all of the archetypes of the Bible, because you contain all of them. They're inside of you. So the teachings of Jesus is to uplift yourself to the top of your temple. That's why they call this the Holy of Holies, the holy place, the most holy place. That woman that hides deep in the body with the baby in the book of Revelations, she is protecting the child that is in you, okay? For the time that you step out of this imaginary falsity that we have been sold of this divine father, right? Without a divine mother. How does that work? Can you have a father without a mother, or a mother without a father? No, you cannot. So in this, you find these 2 pyramids where like as I said, as above, so below, as within, so without. Why do you think that the effects of menopause are seen on a woman's skin? Hot flashes and craziness. Because she is the within. She is the black side of the yin yang. They say everybody wants to get offended because, oh, why do women have to be represented as the black? Well, they're the inside. They're the feelings. They're all of those things that are inside that you cannot see. Men are imagination. Men are made of imagination. It's why, the Father's imagination. Have you ever seen anything living just pop out of the air? No, it's all grown from the earth. So once men reach 40 years old, they reach this place. It's 39.6 years old. Tesla tells you, the 369 is important. So once men reach this place, they find a place where they can actually think, where they are not driven by sexual desires, monetary desires, or any of the other things, where they can actually think for themselves for once in their life. But what are they told? Oh, psychological delusion, and you are, you're all messed up about it, right? You're all messed up. You're crazy. You're going through a midlife crisis. It's not a midlife crisis. You are, for the first time, understanding the inside, the intuition, the idea of this pineal gland. They want you to believe that the pineal gland is something that it's an organ that turns on, and it's intuition. It's being able to trust yourself. One of the keys to heaven is to not believe a lie. That's how you get to this place. When you ponder the right questions, this place gives you the answers. So this diamond, this pyramid, okay, it's why they hid it in Kundalini and all this other shit. It's the male and the female that weave each other to the top. Boom. Then you can think, as they want you to use the word hermaphrodite, like to think that it's a person who possesses both sexes. You are made of both sexes. You are half female, half male. Okay? You have to understand this. You're not just a man or a woman. Your exterior is, yes. Interiorly, you have a fucking person who is logical, and the other one is imaginative. You have, now, it can be any of these things, right? Because you can be female and be whatever, or male and be, it doesn't matter. This is the understanding, okay? When you go inside of yourself, one of you needs to nurture, and the other needs to be security. That's period. That's it. So a woman, when she gets off of her roller coaster of emotions, she finds herself being secure and nurturing, right? Normally about 47 years old. When men get off of these emotions, they find themselves about 40 years old, and they're willing and capable of nurturing themselves. Before this, their entire lives, they have looked for someone to nurture them. It's not how this place works. You have to nurture and be your own security. If you are either one or the other, or neither, you're in a bind, because you're psychologically lost. You're gone, right? So you came here to God. You did not come here to lord over someone, or bow down and get on your knees to someone. You came here to be it. Now, when you find yourself as God, to see as God, as Eve said, as Eve was so fucking wrongfully accused of, when you come here to be as God, to see as God, it means that you can see everything. You see the good and the bad, instead of looking at something and saying, oh, that's good for me, and it's terrible. It's why you can't keep people in your life that lie to you and bullshit you, because constantly you're bullshitting yourself. You cannot get into heaven and believe a lie. Heaven is a consciousness. Christ consciousness is, you can see it. If you're not conscious and awake, you cannot see what's in front of you. Jesus told you, it's here. The kingdom of God is here. You have to see it. Well, to see it, on this thing, See, you keep going round and round and round and round and round, and you fucking die. This is a karmic cycle. You have to find yourself at the center of each one of these, okay? And as they turn, you stay in the center. It's why they told you about Ezekiel and his wheels in wheels, all right? His wheels in wheels. The straight gate, all right? That's the center of the masculine and the center of the feminine. So that when you find it, boom, you're the hub. You're not spinning around the outside anymore. You're the hub. So what does the hub do? The hub stays stationary. It doesn't lean. It doesn't do this. None of that bullshit, right? It just stays stationary. And everything else spins around it. So you're not in these karmic cycles anymore. So there's the Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone is the understanding that you need to find yourself at the center of mind, at the center of body, and at the center of spirit. When you do, okay, spirit has two places you can be on one end or the other, God or Satan. Then you have mind, which can be depression or anxiety. Then you have the body, which can be accepted or unaccepted. So you have to find yourself right in the middle of all three of those things. And there you find this straight gate, this straight line, this axial point, that everything can spin around you, but you have the Philosopher's Stone, the straight gate, the forward moving thing. Sorry, my camera messed up. 2 seconds. So when you find this straight gate, it's where you find Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is where, as above, so below. Why do you think the Masons give you this bullshit? As above, so below. The pyramids. The pyramid has a pyramid underneath it. This is the straight gate. This is where you cannot serve God or mammon. Right? You can only serve God or mammon. So you can only serve your higher self or your body. Well, when you find yourself actually mature and with integrity, possessing integrity, where your yes means yes and your no means no, it's when you find yourself at Christ consciousness. It's, like I said, three things. The threefold ministry. Mind, body, spirit. And at the center of them. Centering them. Controlling yourself. Controlling your mind. Controlling your body. And controlling your spirit. Not living in anxiety and depression. To live in anxiety is to live in the future. To live in depression is to live in the past. You have to be in this moment. As this is the only moment we have. It's all the same moment. Time is not this random thing counted by clocks. Time is fluid. It's a wavelength. It's so very simple. Christ consciousness is here. He's here. And we're about to throw this shit down. Everybody's about to figure it out. I don't worry about language. I don't care about language. Okay? To think that there are curse words is insanity. Okay? To blame a person for smoking is insanity. It's all just ways for you to judge. You are your own judge. You are high counsel. You're the judge. You're here to find your mother and you're here to find your father. Both of them you already possess. You possess the Spirit. They tell you, you can say whatever you want about Jesus. You can say whatever you want about God. Don't curse the Holy Spirit. The Spirit is what all the Indians followed. All the indigenous peoples of this place followed. It's how we got here. Let the Spirit guide you. Stop being guided by Satans that keep you judging yourself. I possess the Philosopher's Stone. And it's two pyramids, one on top of the other. As above, so below. As the light is, so you have the dark. You have the light and the shadow. That's why people talk about shadow work. Once you do your shadow work, you get rid of your past. You get rid of all the things you hold against yourself. And all of the adjectives that have ever been put upon you by other people. You cast them off. And it says in the Gospel of Thomas, you stamp on those clothes, right? That raiment, as it's all a storybook. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit that someone else gave you. You have spent your life living an adjective that someone else bestowed upon you instead of living your own life. Christ consciousness is finding yourself at the center of that hub and living your own life instead of living in someone else's karmic, cosmic hell. Thank you.